Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from. The county, in case you are in this republic, or the country, in case you are outside the republic. Last week, Rigathi Gachagua, who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, met, in quotes, with Raila Odinga in Mombasa. Raila Odinga had attended the swearing-in ceremony of the Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Nasir, while Rigathi Gachagua was attending, I think it was a meeting, induction meeting for MPs or something. And because last week and a bit of this week I've been so busy, I did not really get the chance to do a critical analysis about that meeting. And I've received so many requests from you guys asking for my thoughts. I want us to look at that particular meeting. Because for me, I'm a believer that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives. I want us to look at the objectives of that meeting. Because get it from me, if Raila Odinga or Rigathi Gachagua didn't want to meet each other, that meeting, in quotes, would not have taken place. Raila Odinga would have found a way to change his scheduled flight. Rigathi Gachagua would also have made himself busy, even if they were at the same airport. I'm looking at the photos which were shared from that particular meeting, and Rigathi Gachagua himself made this post that we have tremendous respect for our senior citizens. I was delighted this morning to have a tete with our senior citizen, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in Mombasa. So which means these guys had one-on-one meeting. And if you followed that event, there's even a video where Rigathi Gachagua and Raila Odinga are walking together. The truth of the matter is that these guys met at the airport and they were at the VIP section. And as someone who has always had a chance to be at the VIP, I mean, there are several other people who were with Raila Odinga. Why were they not in these pictures? And what informed the choice of this particular photo? Why was it shared? Because the person who shared this photo was not Raila Odinga. The first person to share the photos were actually Rigathi Gachagua. And considering the history of Rigathi Gachagua, he's a guy who speaks his mind. If he didn't want this meeting, Rigathi Gachagua would not have held this meeting. And I remember from Mombasa, Rigathi Gachagua headed straight to Naivasha, where Kenya Kwanza were holding their parliamentary group meeting. And I remember William Ruto making it very, very clear that his government, while in Naivasha now, that his government will not allow or will not include leaders from the opposition side, because you'd want them to play their role as opposition in this country. So which means William Ruto's statement alone in Naivasha is a confirmation that this meeting discussed working together, and that probably William Ruto made that comment because of pressure from his team. You know, these guys made Raila Odinga their pet subject, and now Rigathi Gachagua sharing a photo of him with Raila Odinga while they are meeting in Naivasha, which means definitely William Ruto had to make that very clear. But that's not the main intention. I want us to go into all this. In case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. I know I've been away for like 3 good days, and I'm glad that at least you guys have welcomed me back. I'm glad that most of you guys were asking where I was. Now, why do you think this particular meeting took place, or what was the objective? Of course, there's a possibility that these guys just met by coincidence. And in case they met by coincidence, then probably they would not have sat, the two of them, talking. Probably the entire group would have just sat there, just touring. But these guys were in discussion. So why do you think they met? I have participated in politics, and I know how these meetings are normally held. In most cases, they will be camouflaged. There's an event there, Raila attending event there. Then they meet, they talk, then they leave. So for me, the objectives of this meeting were several. Number one, I tend to think that Rigathi Gachagua wanted to deliver a message from William Ruto to Raila Odinga. What I can't say at this stage is the specific message which he was delaying. But I think Uhuru Kenyatta, I said he wanted to deliver a message from William Ruto to Raila Odinga. I hope I have not confused that. If I confused, just click it that way. So I tend to think that William Ruto sent Rigathi Gachagua with the message. And because William Ruto would not want to hurt Uhuru Kenyatta, he sent Rigathi, and the meeting was camouflaged. So that's number one. Number two, this meeting was coming at a time when Raila Odinga had sent a strong warning to the Chief Justice, Martha Koome. He had sent a strong warning to IEBC. And he was actually threatening 1 million march to IEBC and Supreme Court. So I think that statement by Raila Odinga is something which William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua and their government would not want to happen. So in my view, this meeting discussed Raila Odinga's statement, because it's feared that Raila Odinga has followers who are still very bitter, and that they can be easily mobilized to go to the Supreme Court. They can be easily mobilized to go to IEBC. William Ruto taking over, I don't think he would want a situation where picketing would become the order of the day. And I'm saying this because from the day Raila and Rigathi met, have you heard Rigathi Gachagua attacking Raila Odinga? Have you heard him? Have you heard Ruto attacking Raila Odinga? Or have you heard any Kenya Kwanza leader attacking Raila Odinga? So it could have been that 1 million march which Raila Odinga talked about. Number three, I also tend to think that it has everything to do with William Ruto's visit to Kisumu. There is national music competition or festival which is currently undergoing in Kisumu schools. And William Ruto is supposed to close the event. And you know so well that Kisumu is the epicenter of Nyanza politics. After the last election, it confirmed to William Ruto that there is nothing much he can do to change the people of Kisumu, to persuade them. And because he's coming to Kisumu, the people there are bitter, and they listened to Raila Odinga. I think probably Rigathi Gachagua delivered William Ruto's message to Raila Odinga about this visit, so that Raila Odinga would be in Kisumu, like already today Raila is in Kisumu. Then he would assure, or he will tell his supporters to welcome Ruto, or just to be normal. So I tend to think that one of the objectives of that meeting is this particular visit by the DP to Kisumu. It's going to be one of his major outings in opposition strongholds after being sworn in, and of course in his official capacity. Like Ruto has been to Meru, he has been to Kiambu, I think, after he was elected. And, those are his strongholds. So you'd want to send a message to the Republic. You'd want to send a message to the world that those who oppose him are embracing him. So I don't think William Ruto would have wished a situation where he would come to Kisumu and tension is there, where he would come to Kondele, for example, and address the people, and probably people would not be happy with him. So I tend to think that that particular visit could have been part of the discussion Rigathi Gachagua held with Raila Odinga. And number 4, probably there's talks of post-election agreements. I don't want to talk of handshake, but maybe William Ruto wants to talk with Raila Odinga on how they are going to conduct their affairs. William Ruto as the president, Raila Odinga as the leader of the opposition. Because remember, one thing William Ruto engaged in immediately was elected was to raid Azimio to win parliamentary strength. That's weakening opposition. And that's something which William Ruto promised not to do. So maybe they met, and one of the messages is that, okay, how are we going to deal? And number 5, I think, is about lowering the political temperature in the country. The moment Raila Odinga talked of 1 million march, I'm sure those who follow the stock exchange, it might have been affected in a way or the other. And by that time, Rigathi Gachagua was also on the neck of Uhuru Kenyatta. So, and Raila Odinga supporters was also very bitter still with the Martha Koome. So I think the two just discussed how they can lower the political temperatures in this country. And lastly, my sixth sense is also telling me that probably Rigathi Gachagua looked for Raila Odinga to help him broker peace deal with Uhuru Kenyatta. Something tells me, Uhuru Kenyatta is a prince, and Rigathi Gachagua was one of his employees at some point in time. And despite the fact that they have fallen out, Rigathi Gachagua is very clear that their fallout has nothing to do with their personal relationship, that it has everything to do with politics. So Uhuru is bitter with Rigathi Gachagua. And as someone who, even Ruto, very bitter with Uhuru Kenyatta, but they work together. So I tend to think that there's also Uhuru Kenyatta factor here. Is there a chance that these guys are trying to ask Raila Odinga to intervene or try to reconcile them? Because remember, during the swearing in of Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua attacked President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the president was actually meant to go to State House for luncheon. He never branched there. He headed straight to his home because he was very angry and he was bitter. And that's a bad signal which Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua probably would not wish to deal with at this moment in time. So I don't know what to think. That's my take. Thank you, guys. And until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.